of truth here. Hey, there we go. So we'll go back into this. Now, if you're just joining us, if you didn't catch last week's stream, I'll take care of that first. I'll catch up on what we're doing. So what this game is called Evil Genius. And Evil Genius is a game where it's a world domination simulator. You're actually trying to take over the world. You're an evil genius. And yeah, right now, this is kind of a little bit earlier on in the game. We are just trying to build up our base, trying to get different minions in here so we can do different things, and trying to get that, trying to get our to be as infamous as we can. Right now, our main objective is we are trying to get all the main bad guys of the world into one meeting. And right now we have, I believe, 4 of them at our headquarters right now. So right now we're working on this guy named Nigel Ewing. He's a little bit harder to get. The problem is you have to be, you have to have enough notoriety to get him to show up. So this is what we're looking at right now. This is the world domination screen. And so if you look right here, we have our notoriety, and right now it's at 51. I cannot remember if we need to be at 75 or 100 for him to come out. And so what I mean by that is these little markers here are what they call acts of infamy. It'll be like this one. This is actually for a minion, but he'll actually show up like this out in the world. He might take, or since he might, or we don't have the notoriety quite yet, he might take a minute for it to come out. So what we'll have to do is do just a couple acts of infamy to get more notoriety. I've got 2 right here. That one's pretty simple, only 5 notoriety. This one gives me 10, but I need a lot more people to do it. And I have the people to do it, so I think we're just going to go ahead and assign our people to here. And let's see, we need 2 more valets and 2 guards. I've already got 1 technician. I'm going to send 2 more out, so we'll have 3 there, and we'll send 2 more guards out. They do, if you don't know, different minions do different things. So your social minions, which is a valet, will help cover more, or will get rid of some of the heat from the act of infamy. The technicians, or your science minions, will reduce the time it takes to get acts of infamy. And your guards will help protect on your other minions so you don't lose as many during the act of infamy. And I think I'm about to sneeze, so I'm trying to hold it in a little bit, but so this isn't good. So these are actually soldiers, and if you see here, they're just mowing down our people. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run. This is our henchman. His name is Eli Barracuda. He actually can. We can actually control him directly, so he actually can be. That's one we can actually control directly, so we can actually assign him to do different things. The problem is they're just mowing down my guards right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cancel. I'll leave him out there, but I'm gonna cancel them going out, and I'm just gonna try to get rid of these guys really quick, just so that we can hopefully not lose any more guards. Later on, these guys will just sit there and mow down a base with no hesitation. The first game I ever beat, I actually beat this game maybe about a week or so ago now. They would just kill anybody on sight. So I lost a lot of high-end minions, up in here that we don't even have yet. I lost quite a few of those. So hopefully right now we can hopefully get rid of these guys quick. If you see Eli got knocked out, henchmen don't get knocked out by normal agents. They get knocked out by the only way they can get killed is that they have to die 3 times to a super agent, which they don't come along until quite a bit later. So he's fully healed now, so hopefully we can, maybe they'll just go away. That's kind of hope right now, because we really don't have, we have the guard minions, which should be able to take them out pretty easily. However, since there's so many of them, there's 7 of them looks like, it can be kind of a pain. So we can kind of wait it out in here. There's even another group over here, so there's actually 14 of them on our island right now, which is really uncommon. I don't think I've ever seen something like that before. But you can see here, these are the evil or the evil people that we have in our base right now. Those are kind of the lords of the underworld. So we're gonna try to get this. I think that you get 2 more, or 2 or 3 more. And And once we get that, we can we will be able to call, or we'll have that meeting, which is our next big objective. Come on. I'm trying to run him down here, so hopefully instead of shooting, they'll actually get a melee. And if that's true, they're a lot worse on melee than they are range attacks. But I'm seeing more and more of our workers about to come down to help. So hopefully we can get at least rid of these first 7. And we can work on the rest of them here in a bit. It seems like it's working out so far. We're still going to lose some minions though, unfortunately. At least if we don't lose them all at once, I'm a little bit better about that, because if you lose them all at once, then you have to go out and, well, I should take that back. If you lose one of these minions all at once, then it's a little bit bigger of a pain, because then you have to go out and recapture those minions. But if I lose workers, they just automatically regenerate. Right now, I have one coming every 60 seconds, so it's not too bad. So these guys just got in here, so let's go ahead and set them to be exterminated. Looks like one is about to be, or 2 of them, which is awesome. I usually don't play with traps because I'm not a big fan of them. However, they seem to work out pretty well for some people, so I'm gonna try them out on this one. And if they don't work, they don't work. That's okay. So we've gotten rid of 2 of them so far, and one's still stuck behind the door. But I think maybe not. Maybe our worker will keep him behind the door, hopefully. So that seems to be working out well. Eli will just come back here, and he'll get all the stats regenerated real quick, and we can send him back out to try to get rid of these guys. So kind of an exciting start. Looks like we actually captured a couple more guys in there, but unfortunately looks like we also got a minion stuck in there as well, which is not good, because we'll lose that minion. And then they didn't die. However, they will have lost quite a bit of health, which is awesome. I think Eli should be able to take care of at least these last 2. And then what we can do is we'll wait a little bit, since we're running low on guards, but we will send out more out into the world. So that is kind of the plan right this second. We'll work on this act of infamy, because it looks like we already have the workers out there. So we just need to get the guards and valets out there, which we only need 2 guards. Let's go ahead and we'll send all 3 out. We'll send 2 there, and we'll send 2 science minions. So, but they'll continue to train while we're waiting, though, so it won't be too awful bad. But we still want. But we should have those taken care of here shortly. Grab some water real quick. Right here real quick. Right. And if anyone's wondering kind of while we're playing this game, it's a game from 2007, maybe 2004, 2007, somewhere around in that range. But they announced late last year that they're actually coming out with Evil Genius 2 sometime later this year, and so I decided to go back. I've only beat this game once, and that was actually rather recently. So I've decided to come back, kind of introduce people to this game if they've never heard of it. And then hopefully when the new game comes out, we'll play that as well on the stream. I think that'd be kind of fun to do as well. It's people call it a cult classic because it's a bit of a niche game that not a lot of people, or a lot of people played. And when it was out, it was great. But the company that made it went bankrupt not too long after they made this game, which I'm thankful they got the game out, because this was a great game. But still, it's people have been waiting for a sequel to this, because it's a great concept for a game. However, there's some things that can be improved on. There's a couple bugs that that happens. Excuse me, you just got to pay attention to because they can really break the game. There's only one I really know of, and that is later on when you get there's different things you can upgrade and research later. One of them is a flat screen TV for your control room. If your evil genius is in the space of the influence of that TV, for some reason they just slowly die over time, but it doesn't tell you that. And if you try to move them, they automatically die. Why that happens, I'm not 100% sure, but it really sucks. So we are going. So that's one thing I try to avoid. But now we have enough people here. We don't have the intelligence for this area. So what this is, right above, or right at where I'm at, and just to the right here, there's a box here that has a console on it, and that kind of correlates to how many people we have working here. Right now, we only have one full console working. That's because we're just running low on people right now. So we don't really know much about this area right now, but we're going to go ahead and go on this. This is an act of infamy. We know we're going to get 10 notoriety for this, and I think 20 heat. Not too big of a risk, so hopefully we can get that up to 61 real quick. And I think we should be able to get this objective done. I'd like to get a couple, at least in the next one, done. I think the next one's called the super loot or the uber loots, and the uber loots are quite fun to do. And I'll show you those once we get to them. But what I'd also like to do is try to make sure all my guards are trained properly, because we are pretty much out of cash right now. And since that, we need to go start stealing more out in the world. And the best minions to do that are your military minions. So it looks like we just got that act of infamy done. So we'll go ahead and pull over our people back. Except for our guards, we'll send the guards over to North America here and have them start stealing. And we'll send our science minions down to not South Africa. We'll do South America. And what I'll do there is have them start plotting. And plotting should help us find more acts of infamy in those areas. But you know what? I'm going to move them from South Africa because it's the same country. So if you look here, the world map is split up in different colors. And these are different world governments. Since we didn't just an act of infamy and a yellow government, which is Smash, our heat's really high here. It's just off to the, just right up here, right above where the ticker is. So it's actually really relatively high. So we want to have them put them into different areas that we don't have as much heat. That will allow us to, or the more heat we have, the more agents will send after us. So we want to have as little heat as possible, especially since we're training guards up. So hopefully that will not generate too big of an agent. Because last time the soldiers that came after us originally were from Hammer, so it was in this region. Because we just did, I think, this act of infamy, and we stole a piece of loot from them. So yeah, so you got to kind of balance how many acts of infamy you do by the amount of heat you're going to generate from your people. So we got all that taken care of. If you notice here, we got people actually regenerating some stats. That's a good thing to see. That means there's enough people up here working that we can see what we're doing, as well as we have enough people. We have a surplus of people, so they can regenerate stats, stuff like that. Because while they're working, they actually they lose stats. So if you look here, if I click on this guard, he has 5 stats here. These 5 stats will eventually go down over time, except for the health, because the health you only lose if you're being attacked. Let's see if we can find a different one. So if you look here, he's losing his focus, his attention stat, and his strength stat. If any one of those goes to 0, they'll be incapacitated. And when that happens, they'll need to be escorted to either the barracks, or usually it's to the barracks, but it can be just other places to help regenerate those stats so that they can they'll be conscious again and they'll be able to work. Go ahead and take care of those guys. He's running out to get some money here. See if any more acts of infamy have showed up. Doesn't look like anything's come up yet. I'd rather have more scientists out here doing this, but I don't really have the extra one to spare at this moment. We still only have that one. I really don't want to risk doing too many acts of infamy in that area to generate so many agents. So I will leave that down there right now. And we can work on seeing what else we need for this base, because I don't think we need much else. I think we built everything in the last episode, and that's why I was trying to push to do everything in the last episode, at least building-wise in the last episode. And then this episode, we can try to really focus on world domination. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the chat, or even if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. We'll try to answer those in the next stream if you're on YouTube. But if you're watching live right now, you can always ask me, and I will try to answer the questions as best I can. Because I have played this game when it originally came out. I played this quite a bit, and even now, even then, or lost my train of thought. Even now, I still know quite a bit about this game. I don't know everything. I still have to go online to learn quite a few things still. But it's more real. It's real minute things that I'm learning now. Things like how to perform acts of infamy better, what agents are best, or what kind of the balance of minions are the best, things like that. So. I'm kind of waiting for this heat to come down just a little bit. I don't think we can reduce it any faster than it just naturally goes down over time. What I did see that I think would be useful, it looks like there was a mod on Steam that allowed you to pause and fast forward the game, which I think would be amazing to do. Because sometimes this game is just a bit of a waiting game, waiting for things to happen, waiting for heat to go down, waiting for you to kill agents or acts of infamy, things like that. So, that would be really nice to have. You know what? We only have 4 workers. We don't even have enough workers to do that mission quite yet. Because they're all being trained right this second. But it looks like our last guard's getting trained and our last technician's getting trained. So, hopefully here soon, we'll actually have a surplus of workers so we can send at least 5 out on that mission. We'll go ahead and start setting it up for that. We'll go ahead and send our one scientist down here, send a couple of allies. We'll send 2 science minions, and we'll send, I don't have the workers quite yet, but we'll send 4 guards. We'll send the 4 workers we have currently. See if we can maybe just increase this real quick. 2,000. There we go. We should have, nope, we still have only 4 there. So what I'm doing with the slider here is I'm actually increasing increasing how fast I get workers. The more you can actually set it to 0, so you absolutely have, or you get a worker every 60 seconds then, which is fine. But let's say you have a lot of money, you can actually turn that up to, you get a minion every second, but I think it's $10,000 for every minion. So kind of a balance you have to work out there. Usually I can keep it around the 20-second range. That's about $1,000 for every 20 seconds. Later on, that seems like a lot of money, but once you get things like the mercenaries and the marksmen like that are really good at stealing money, you can have this income down here. It's only right now it's only 2,400 because I only have 3 guards out stealing. I've had that up to $15,000 or $16,000 every 60 seconds, so it's not terrible to have, which is nice. So we have all those guys being sent out. Looks like we just killed another agent. Kill him. That guard should drop that body here shortly and take him out, which I'm okay with. Yep, there you go. They're starting to fight now. So let's go ahead. We're still waiting on those guys to get there. That's one thing that I'm a little annoyed about this game. It seems like it takes forever for minions to get out into the world. I don't know. To me, it seems like it just takes, quite a bit from when you tell them to go out to when they're actually there. So they're there now. It's only going to take 48 seconds. So we'll go ahead and hit that. But if you noticed here, since we have the 3 valets there, or 2 valets, we have 2? No, we have 3. So they actually went down by 1 heat per valet. Not sure if we had 10 valets there, would it take it down to 0? Not sure. But that's a lot better than what we had. So we'll go ahead and let that one run for a second. And what we'll do is, so Agents of Justice can pop up every once in a while. They will make Acts of Infamy a lot harder on you if they're there, which might happen like about halfway through there. So unfortunately, I'm just going to let this one run because we're going to lose a couple minions, and I do know that. But at the same time, we should be able to complete it with him, even with him there. So okay, we got that, but we want to get everybody out of there as fast as we can. And then I'm gonna have them hide because there's another agent over here. Because each government can have up to, I think, 2 agents out at once, plus their super agent. So I'm gonna have those guys hide for now. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. What we'll do is we'll wait a little bit. I want to try to get 3 scientists out here looking for different opportunities to go out and try to steal some stuff or do more acts of infamy. Yellow I wanted to avoid for now because we already got a lot of heat there. Let's look at maybe over here in like Southeast Asia. We'll go ahead and send 3 scientists over there to do some plotting. And since that guy is gone, we can send these guys back to stealing, and we're now up to $4,800 every 60 seconds. We are now going to have to train more guards, more technicians, and more valets. But that's okay, since we're, if you notice now though, since we have about where we were, we actually have a guard here sleeping. We have all this taken care of right now, except for the guy that just left. If we scroll down here to our other rooms, our pharmacy is being worked. There's somebody studying down here in the archives. The mess hall is kind of empty right now, but that's okay. They can still get food if need be. So yeah, we're taking care of everything. We're still training everybody. So yeah, I think right now we're doing okay. I think we'll have to get this to at least 75. If we have to get it up to 100, we can. It's just going to take a little bit longer, that's all. I'm thinking about boosting everything up to at least 10 here. So let's go ahead and do that. What this will do is, since I've increased the numbers there, they'll start training more until we get to that number. Because then we can do that 1 act of infamy on the east coast or west coast of America. And then we'll have some more technicians to send out to look for more acts of infamy, have more valets to take care of the base, and to reduce heat during acts of infamy. So I think it's a good move, especially since we don't have any of the bigger minions right now. What I might consider doing though is, I don't know how much a locker is. So a locker is $1,000. So why this room looks kind of odd is it has so many lockers, is that every locker supports at least 1 minion. Because of that, you have to have 100 lockers or you don't have quite 100. I'd say it's like 90 lockers to actually support the max amount of minions you can have in the game. Later on, you can get better or upgraded lockers. I think do 3 or 4 at once, but they take up 2 spaces. So what we kind of have to do now is I'm going to go down here. I might just put it right here. Let's see how much it costs. Kind of a neat feature in this game, you actually can plan your rooms out before you actually build them. So right now that's going to cost me just $10,000 just to put the room down. And we're at 59 minions. So what we'll do is we will rotate that. We'll just start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Delete that one. We're at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm missing 21, 22, 23. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So that'll get us up to what, 90, which is a decent, you know, decent size minions to start out with. Later on, we can also reduce the amount of people we get or we put into these areas. So I might go ahead and start building that here shortly. Let's go ahead and get rid of that person here. I'll send Eli after her. See if we found anything yet. So it looks like they're just over there plotting now. Still stealing in this area. How many valets do we need for this one? So we have let's go ahead and send our valets out here. We'll have our 6 guards there, and then we'll bring our technicians over here from Asia back over here to the U.S. So we have somebody guarding, somebody reducing time, and then the required minions, of course. Some more water. We might go ahead and just start building this. I know that's like $30-some thousand, so we won't quite have all the money yet. So we might hold off, but see, so I'm remembering everything in this game here. So it's like I don't remember. It's like I know what all the advanced ones are. So I'm not 100% sure. Ooh, let's drop the phone here. I'm not 100% sure. Shoot. Like, it's, I want to start planning ahead, but I know that we won't get those, or I don't know exactly when we get them. I know we can get them, you know, before we move to the second island. Become a spoiler alert there, we do get a second island. Yeah, I don't know exactly when we get them, so it's like I want to plan this base to where I can upgrade it if need be, but if not, I can wait till the next island to get everything. So I know there's one more room we get. It's a laboratory, so we can start doing research, and that has to be quite a big room just because of all the machines it has. So, yeah, let's go ahead and let's get our science minions over here. I want to wait kind of on these guys because since they are stealing, they're actually still doing something. So I will wait on them. I want to see if there's any more agents, or soldiers really. I don't see any, so that's a good thing. Looks like the valet minions got dropped off, so we'll go ahead and move our guards over here. And we'll commence this act of infamy. This one's a felonious fundraiser. So we'll go ahead and start that one up. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. And also, while they're doing the act of infamy, they also won't keep stealing as well. So that's always kind of nice. Just to have a little bit of money always coming in. But since we increased both these two by 4, so that means we're going to get 8 more minions in the base overall. We still have our 15 workers, so we'll train up all of our people to our max. So we'll have 25 and 15 workers. So we're at what, 40 minions so far. So we just got that one taken care of, and so it looks like we just got the objective thing. So we should have just. Yeah, so we just got this guy over here. So what we need to do to get him to talk, we just need 5 guards, which we have over here. Crap, I just clicked out of the game. Hold on one second. I was afraid I was going to do that because I have 2 screens sitting up here, so it's very possible that I'll accidentally misclick and then trying to move too quick between 2 monitors. Take those 2 techs off, move them over here. Right now this is a 3-minute mission, so I'm going to bring 3 more techs. I'll have 5 total. 5 total minions. We'll take 3 valets, and we'll bump up the amount of guards. We'll have 8 there total. Or not 8. Yeah, we'll have 8 there. We'll do 7, just to try to balance it out a little bit better. Right now it's going to take me 2 minutes and 24 seconds. I want to put them into hiding. I could have them steal. We'll have them steal. Why not? Because we're still generating a little bit of heat, but it's not terrible. So we're going to get that guy captured once we get our minions out there. And then, well, I think there's one more we have to do. And I know at that point we'll pull all of our minions back because it's a on the island mission. So we'll go ahead and we'll take care of that here shortly. Because we've lost a lot of allies already, so we're going to have to start training up quite a few more. We've only trained 2 at once right this second, but that's okay. We'll get another desk in here for them to train on. So we can do 3 valets. We can do, I think, 3 guards, 2 techs, and 2 valets. It's not really an ultra version of Risk because you're really the only evil genius out there. This is more of you versus the world kind of thing. It looks very similar to Risk, but they only get like maybe 1 pawn out there, but that 1 pawn can be very good. And so right now I'm going to send out, 8? Let me take care of that really super quick here. Get Eli out there for those. So essentially those are minions that I'm sending out. I'm sending out right now, 11 of them out here to capture 1 guy. That 1 guy is kind of the evil guy of that area. So right now that's our objective to do that. To me, this is more like a base building game with an element of like world domination. Because right now we actually have objectives here that we're actually trying to complete. So a lot of this game takes place on your island. There really is no... this is the only thing you get in the world. So there's kind of 2 different screens that you work with, but you're mainly on your island. I don't know if that really answered your question. If it might be a little different there, but let's see here. So yeah, that's our objective, is to try to capture that guy right now. So you can kind of think of it as Risk, but we can move a little bit further because we really don't own any land here. We own an island somewhere in the world. They just don't tell us where. So if you look here, I'm about to hide all my people because this is what one of the good guys essentially their pawns look like. It's just a justice presence. Eventually they'll go away. Just it might take in a minute or so. All of our guys will be there ready. So when he goes away, we'll start what they call an active infamy. That will do whatever this active infamy is. This one just has to be capturing somebody. If you look at these flags, these are ones we've already done. These are just adding to our notoriety, which makes us more and more. The higher our notoriety is, the more evil genius we are, essentially. That's how the world kind of views us right now. And if you do play this game, it's really interesting because some of these active infamies are just plain out like odd. Like this one, there's one I do like. It's over here somewhere. Here it is. So this one, they are the government here is setting up an offshore patrolling system. So what you do is you actually attach radio beacons to dolphins, like radios and sonar beacons to dolphins, and have them swim out there, and so their radar systems go crazy. That's literally one of them, and this whole map is filled with them you have to go find. However, it's some of these are kind of funny, some are just really odd. And there's stuff you can also steal. Like if you looked here, you actually steal a Parisian rug from a sheik, which is kind of cool. We've done a couple of those already. We got the sound machine here from Russia. We have this, it's a satellite mercury mirror type thing from Australia. So yeah, that is pretty cool. So that's stuff you can do. Here shortly, the next objective, you actually have to steal what they call Uber Loots. And those Uber Loots are special objects that actually have a lot of worth to the world, and so you have to go steal those to help fund your evil organization, which I think is hilarious. So yeah, pretty cool. It's a fun game. I do wish there was a fast forward button, but I think there was a mod you can actually download for the game that allows you to fast forward and pause the game, which I think that would be amazing, because these times that are shown here, that's actual real time. And I think the biggest one I've seen so far, I think, was either 7 or 8 minutes without any science minions. So they can get rather lengthy. and you're just kind of sitting here waiting. You can do multiple acts of infamy if you have the minions to do so, but a lot of times you're sending out like one massive team to do one act of infamy, and that kind of leaves the rest of the world kind of open. So, all right, so we're about to be done with this one, and I'll pull all my minions back so they'll be at the island, because the next one, if I remember correctly, we've got our task complete. Let's see here. Yeah, Bob Kane. So what he's doing is he is sending, what's this called? So he's going to be sending his minions to our island. So they'll look like construction workers without hats, and they'll be in red jumpsuits. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just kind of looking around our island. A lot of times they'll actually show up in they'll show up in a dinghy, and then they'll throw a rope up the cliff here, and they'll climb up that rope. The easiest way I found to do that is if you can get your henchmen out there to where they're going to be at before they even land. See, like right here, that's where they're coming up. So they just launched their harpoons. So I'm going to run Eli out here, which is my henchman, and hopefully he can take out these people before they get 5 or 6 up on the island. It's a little bit easier with other henchmen because like Jubei, which is another with another evil genius, he comes with them. So each evil genius has their own starting henchman. He comes with Maximilian. He actually can teleport. One of his special abilities, he actually can teleport around the map. So I want to. So if you see here, they're actually going to start attacking other agents around here, which is pretty cool. However, we want to try to stop them before they get to our base, and that's why I'm running Eli out there as fast as I can. But I might have him hang back just a little bit to see if he can take care of some of those soldiers before I even get out there. Go ahead and all your henchmen actually have a special ability. Eli's is actually he has 2. One of them is like a super headshot. He just takes someone out in one shot. It's pretty cool. So it looks like he just took out those guys. So I don't see their boat anymore. So that's the first wave taken down. Let's go ahead. If I had to guess, his next wave's probably going to be on the other side of the island. That's usually how that goes. That's why I'm just looking on the coastline here to see where he might be bringing them in at. So look here, they're rolling up here. So actually they're coming in the exact same spot. So I'm just going to have Eli stand up here and wait for them as they come up. Because unfortunately you cannot shoot him down here. Or I would. These guys are pretty easy to take out too, so it's not. You know, usually if you can get them like this, where they're coming right up the cliff and you're attacking them, so they're real easy to take out just one by one. But you can actually get multiple henchmen later on. Once you get enough notoriety, you can get more of them. They'll show up on the world map. It's pretty simple. And once I learned the first game I played, you actually can get both of the evil geniuses henchmen, starting henchmen, later on in the game. I think you have to be 100 notoriety for the first one, or 150, and 200 for the second one. So it's pretty cool. And then there's other henchmen out there, like the Butcher, the Red Ivan. Things like that. So it's a neat thing. You can get more henchmen that you actually control like that. So let me look here. I think there at least should be 3 boats, maybe 4, before he shows up. But this should be the last one we do. This actually might be him pulling up on the yacht here. So I'm gonna run Eli over to this depot over here. Oh, well, he's running away. Check around here. They're running away. So this might be the last step before the big guy comes out and actually wants to talk, essentially, or join the meeting. But apparently, so since they announced Evil Genius 2, I think in August or September, somewhere around. I want to say it was maybe August. And apparently, it looks amazing. It looks very similar to this, kind of cartoonish, kind of cool though. In this game, all the henchmen are male, and so the next game, there we go. Take care of that. Apparently, in the next game, there can be both male and female henchmen, which I think is kind of cool. A little bit different art style, still kind of the cartoonish one though. Apparently, there's you're going to be able to create your own like super soldiers. Don't quite know how that's going to happen yet, but they were showing that off in some photos, which looks kind of interesting. So I'm really excited for it because I remember the first time I could play this game, I think I was in 5th or 6th grade, which maybe a little early for that, especially somehow or how complicated this game can get. But yeah, it's actually I can't wait for it. If we do get it either early or the day of, I'll try to stream it that day that it comes out, because I think it'd be really fun to do on this channel. And they haven't really quite announced a certain date for it yet, so I'm not quite sure when that's going to happen yet. Okay, so wanted to show you this meeting. The last guy looks like hasn't showed up quite yet, but when he does, I'll show you that meeting, because that is a one cutscene or one time a game kind of thing. So I'm trying to figure out where he's at. He's not walking through the front door at all, unless he haven't showed up yet, which would be kind of odd, but if you notice, the Evil Genius actually did move on her own to the table. She was standing up here. So, for scenes like this, there he is. So for scenes like that, she will. There's certain places she has to be. For this one, she has to be in her inner sanctum, sitting at the table, which is pretty cool. The other one, there's some other ones. She actually has to do testing for the rocket that you launch at the end. She has to give her evil ultimatum. That's a little later on in the game as well. And then when you're defeating the super agents, there's certain ways you have to defeat super agents. I've only ever done 2 of them, but she has to be there to do that as well. So that's kind of cool that you actually, the most important person in your game, she has to do stuff. You can't just lock her away. You have to, there's certain things she has to be at, there's certain things she has to do. So that makes it kind of interesting as well. So once he gets down here, I'll show you that cutscene. Let's see here. We've got everybody trained, or we're still training people up. Let's go ahead and we'll send 6 guards out here and just start stealing again. So we have some money coming in. So, because $8,300 is not a whole lot in this game, especially since we're about to start doing research. That will take us a little while to do so. Go ahead and just get that corridor built. And we'll go over to this meeting here. So if you look here, they're all sitting at the table now. So I should lock our screen here. So this is kind of our evil plan here. That's what the second island is. And we have a shrink ray, by the way. So yeah, that's literally the whole meeting, and then they get up and leave. Um, so pretty simple. Essentially, that was your evil genius showing him what we were about to do, and we shrank one of them and kill him. So pretty fun. So we'll go ahead and we'll start a construction on this laboratory, this corridor here, and then we'll start one. Looks like we don't have the room yet because I think we need to go steal the research machine. So we'll need to get 2 guards and 2 technicians. We already have that. We'll send 4 valets out there, 2 technicians, 2 guards. We'll pull the guards off of here at the time. So what we're doing now is we are getting our basic thing for our research lab, and that'll allow us to upgrade things, to get better items, to get new items as well that either help minions regenerate health or any of their stats. Some are better traps, some are better doors, better equipment that we can use, things like that. So that's what we're working on now. So I'll show you the objective here. It's called Better Living Through Chemistry. Essentially what they're doing is in Tokyo right now there is a big technology expo. It's called B3. No reference to E3 at all. And so that's what they're doing now. So they're showing off this research machine that we're going to use to actually get better stuff for us. So we're going to have to go steal that from them. So that's what we're going to do. Pretty simple way to do it. Essentially, we're just going to send enough minions over there to steal it. So it works just like any other act of infamy. So pretty cool. And then once we get this one done, it should unlock more. Think about this game, or think about acts of infamy, kind of like behind a gate. You have to use certain objectives, and once you get this objective done and you have enough notoriety, those will either pop up or allow you to be able to find them with plotting. It makes it a little bit more difficult because you don't quite know how much you need to get certain acts of infamy, or where certain acts you can get starting out. Like right now, I was kind of scrounging around trying to find some, but we should be able to, once we get past this one, it's kind of the end of the tutorial right now. We're starting to actually get into what the game's about, is taking over the world. And we'll start doing some more, start doing evil things here shortly that are starting to transition just from like small-time criminal, stuff like that, to actually more of world domination type stuff. Get my water here. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying this, I would do appreciate a follow. Right now, I'm not doing any donations or anything like that. I'm doing this right now as a hobby, just to see how it would go. But I've always, I get a few more. I'm trying to get enough followers to see where this might go. But so if you like this, you can please consider following. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday, so I do appreciate it. Thank you, Bad Platypus 2. I do appreciate the follow there. That might have been a little loud. I might have to turn that down. And if you notice, right when he subscribed, somebody started to desert. So what that is if their loyalty gets too low, they'll desert the evil organization. So you have to try to capture them. And once you capture them, put them in the jail cell. Eventually, they'll come to their senses and continue with the organization. But Bad Platypus, thank you for the follow. Welcome to. I don't really have a name for any followers yet. I need to come up with one. Yeah, I always thought about welcome to like the Sanctuary, because nickname's Friar Obi. Funny name how that came up. If anybody, or if you guys are ever curious, technically how I pronounce my username is Friar Obi, because technically when I didn't know what it was when I started using it. My dad used it forever, and then I'm like, oh, I'll be like my dad and use his as well, because I couldn't figure out, but I modified it. So what Friar Obi actually means, it means, literally translated, is friar, which is another name for a priest, a little more medieval style, and Obi is short for obese. So literally translated, my username means the fat priest, which I always thought was, yeah, that's how I pronounce it, and that's the reason behind it. It actually just means the fat priest. It came from an old game called, Bard's Tale. And it was similar to think like a Final Fantasy or like a very basic version of World of Warcraft. Whereas there was certain characters you could get, it was all turn-based. You had no spells and stuff like that to fight creatures. And the priest in the game, he was a dwarf, and his description was he was a 4x4x4. He was 4 foot tall, 4 foot wide, and 400 pounds. And so that's where the name Friar became from, because Friar is another name for a priest, and Obi was short for a beast. So it really means the fat priest, which I always thought was hilarious. Didn't know that till I'd been using the username for probably 3 or 4 years by that point, and I didn't know what it meant until then. So that is quite funny. So that's kind of the origin story of how I got my username, or people call me Robbie too, but I use an IE instead of a Y, just a little different, but that's okay. So let's see here. We got the people over there. We'll go ahead and send our guards over there, just so that we have some protection. And we do need 2 as well for the mission. Get them. So right as I show up, there's another Agent of Justice there. So we'll go ahead and hide them for a moment until he goes away, which is fine. We can wait just 30 more seconds to do that. I'd like to start doing this, but I know that's going to cost me. I think there's 31 lockers in there, so that by itself is $31,000. So kind of want to hold off just a little bit on that, and then we'll get that started here shortly. Probably after we get the laboratory done, we'll start on this. And we could probably just build a little bit extra room here. So, I wanted to attach that. I'll do this. So that we can just do one big room. It's going to cost me $12,000 just to build this section, but we only need 10 more lockers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that should be plenty of lockers to fill out. In this game, we can only have 100 minions, which kind of stinks because you can have unlimited amount of henchmen on some of these games, especially later on when you need a high-end like scientists and stuff like that. On my last game, I only have like 3 or 4 of them because I was running that low on them. But that's okay. There's other ways you can kind of get around that. Some of the missions actually require you having, if you look here, these are your minion screens. Some of them will actually require you having like 4 or 5 of the advanced minions. So can be kind of frustrating a little bit sometimes, because you have to try to balance it, because you have to lower one and try to raise the other one. So but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. So the Agent of Justice is still there. So we're still waiting on him to go away. We need to get back to hiding. So, because if when we're hiding, it's really hard to detect our people, as well as I don't think they get killed when they're in hiding. So we'll continue to look at our base here. Let's move our evil genius back up to our control room. So if you look here, she does have this like spirit influence. It's a little hard to see in this room because it fills that entire room, but you can kind of see it just on the edge here. What that is in that influence area, it allows, or it boosts minion stats quite quickly. It boosts their morale, which is what that one worker was low on because he tried to abandon us. So looks like we got everybody out there now, so no more people. So this is going to take 4 minutes of real time, so we'll let that one go for a minute. We're still stealing money there, so we're getting a little bit of an income. I'm tempted to start this now, because we're going to have another 4 minutes of $4,200, so what, that's 16,000? Yeah. We'll go ahead and start that one, just because we have a bunch of workers lying around, and they're the only ones who actually can do construction work. So it's good to have those starting out. And hopefully here soon we can actually reduce the number of construction workers. We can actually boost something else up, maybe like guards or something like that, since all of them can actually do work, like in the pharmacy or in the mess hall, but only construction workers can actually do construction. But we're about done with actual construction of the base. I think there's one more room we have to do, is the laboratory, so we shouldn't have to do much else to the base. Go. Got a message there just real quick. All right, there we go. Take care of that. Still got, it's just under 3 minutes now, so hopefully we'll get the laboratory done here shortly. So and then the next objective we'll have to do, if I remember correctly, is that we need to have the machine stolen back again. It seems kind of counterintuitive. We're actually stealing a machine to have somebody steal it back, but what we do is we actually build a decoy research machine, and that's the one we have people steal. And that one's a pretty simple one to do. Essentially what we're doing is this shack here, the original one, this is the shack we actually had our money in to start out with. We're actually building a laboratory in here with no door, and we're going to put a research machine in here. But the research machine we're putting in there is actually inflatable. That's right, we have a bouncy inflatable research machine that we put in here that they steal, and they think they steal it back, and they realize later on that they actually stole the wrong one. And we keep the one, but they never can find the actual research machine. Still got about 2 minutes on that. Seems like we've got all of our training done except for technician, which is doing right now. If you look here, our loyalty stat should be through the roof. I'm trying to remember what, I can't remember which one loyalty is. Oh, it's the blue one. So yeah, that one should be maxed out here because everybody, you know, the evil genius standing right behind you is like your boss standing right behind you. At work or something like that, so that makes sense. If you notice here, there's just a mad rush on them trying to get get money. Each of these briefcases carry money, so if you ever see one either running to and from the base or out to the base to a depot, they're running to either get something or to put cash in here. Right now they're taking them out so that they can actually build all the lockers down here and then build the door as well, because that does cost money as well. And we just might have enough for them to buy all the lockers. There we go. We're down to $2,500 though. It kind of stinks, but if we have the money, let's go ahead and do it so we can have the most minions we can on this island, which is nice to have. Then we can kind of, once we get the higher end minions, we can just go ahead and start training them like we want to, so that's nice. So it's telling me now that we're low on funds. That means we're trying to buy something, we don't have the money for it. There we go. So we just got the research machine and the chalkboard. So let's go ahead. Got that one taken care of. We'll send our guards out over here. Since we have less heat, we'll go ahead and send 5 out there just to start stealing more money. And so now you see we've got a couple of different things now popping up. And I'll show you what those are here in a second once I figure out what's going on the base at least.
Research will enable you to create.
So now we've unlocked research. Let's see here. We're going to laboratory. It's going to cost us about $3,200. You see here, this is the actual research machine. Actually looks like a real thing. And then you got a fake research machine. That's what we're going to put it there. Hello to England. We're going to try not to invade your nation. I know we got a couple people. Funny enough, Europe is actually one of the harder places to work in this game. Don't know why. I really don't. But we have to take over the whole world. We can't just leave one country by itself. It wouldn't be fair. But you notice all these stars popped up shortly after we got it done. So what this is we're actually trying to go out and steal research for our research lab. That one's a laser. I think you might get that from. Sometimes it tells you where you're getting it from. Sometimes it doesn't. And this one is actually getting another henchman. So there's a couple options there. In my experience, one, yes and no. I have beat this game. It was actually, I just beat it about last week for the first time. I actually bought this game originally, probably 2008, 2009. I still have the original disc still when I first played it. So I have played this quite a bit, so I do know what I have to do in this game. But yeah, so I do know a lot about this game. I'm still learning a couple things that I had no idea, like how, balance of minions and things like that. But yeah, I do try my best at this game. I'm not too awful bad. Still not bad. That's what I see if I can. I think I have it right up here. Yeah, there it is. So hold on, let me switch over to the. Well, we're not doing too much here. Let me switch over to the main camera here. If you see here, that's the original. Well, one of the 2 original game discs for the game. For some reason, this game came on 2 discs, and I have no idea why. It's really odd, but that's okay. I have it already. There's a community patch. Yeah, it's like I don't know if I have it. What I did was I linked it through Steam. I don't know if I have it set to update through Steam or not, because I might just be running it through Steam because it's on Steam. I can't remember if I bought it on Steam or just ran it through Steam. I don't remember, but yeah, it's like something I've loved. I love playing forever and a day ago, and I picked it up a little kind of recently. Because this is, I think, my 6th stream I've done on my schedule at least. I got the idea last week to do this because the new game's supposed to be coming out here sometime this year. They haven't announced the date yet, so if I had to guess, it's probably going to be at least, September, third quarter maybe, when they actually come out with the game. So I'm hoping to get it when it comes out. I really, I enjoyed playing this as a kid, but I'd be really kind of curious what they do with it, since I think it's a completely different publisher, different development studio. So who knows, to be honest with you. Oh, really? That's kind of neat. Yeah, it's like around where I live, it's a lot of. Well, I guess where I live in the United States, the state I live in is very big on medical. So I live around a lot of hospitals, and that's about all that's here in cornfields. So, but I'm actually an IT programmer, still looking for a job around here. But yeah, so like that's really neat that you actually get some sort of development studio around where you live. So that's cool. I would love to see. Every once in a while I'll get posts. It's like, hey, you could go work for Rockstar. Or for Blizzard, but it's like, no, you have to go move up to Colorado or something like that. So yeah, is Rebellion? Is that the one company that made this? I think it is. I could be wrong about that. I think it was Rebellion that started making this game. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, it's like just a little bit about me. Yes, I thought it was Rebellion. I'm pretty sure that's who popped up at the beginning. Just a little bit about me, if you were kind of curious at all. Let me explain to you what happened. So I just did an Act of Infamy, sort of, and I got a new henchman. He's named the Red Ivan. He's probably one of my favorite ones. Here's a problem, though, is that he loves to blow up the base quite a bit. He's a great offensive person. He's actually pretty good to go out in the world and steal. So I probably will send him out into the world. But he does love just to go up and blow things up in your base. Intimo just followed. Thank you for the follow there. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I'll tell you a little about me. Since I really don't, I haven't talked about myself too much. I usually try to talk about the game more. Yeah, well, at least the red Ivan can cause a little more mayhem than help. Eli's pretty good. So is Jubei's pretty good. We'll just get the fires put out. And while we're doing that, I'll talk a little bit about myself. So I started out. I'm actually just kind of finished college. I got an associate's degree in software development. So I've been looking for a job, and while I've been looking for a job, I'm like, I got to do something else. And so I've played around, trying to do Blender. I've done stuff a little bit of 3D modeling, just to see things like that in my career. Because I don't know if I'd go into game development at all, just as a job. But I always thought, kind of the whole idea was fun. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try streaming. I had all the equipment already for it. Because I would do things for college, like I would do, instead of, one of my professors was big on, if you want to give if you have the equipment to give a remote presentation, I could. And the college I went to was about a half hour away, so at least one way. So I would give a lot of remote presentations, like just kind of like this, a little less professional because I had no idea what I was doing. So I decided to start streaming. It's been about 3 weeks ago now. So I just having fun with it, just to see what it would do while I'm looking for a job. And the time to set, it's only about 3 hours every Tuesday and Thursday, which could easily, be switched a little later on in the day if need be. But I enjoy doing this. I usually, right now, kind of the schedule is I play Evil Genius on Thursday, until we beat the game, of course. And then I usually played Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I had Open RCT2 going on Tuesdays, but this week we just ended. We did all the Six Flags maps to start out with, so I think we're going to switch over to Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. I do have that game as well, so I think we're going to switch over to that starting this coming Tuesday. So yeah, that's kind of just a little bit about me. If you guys were curious at all, kind of told you where where I came from, my username, kind of who I am. Yeah, if you are curious at all, I do have a YouTube. There should be a link just below the stream to my YouTube page. All my streams are up there. It's pretty cool. All the streams are up there. I did play. There's a couple Let's Plays on there that I tried, a couple of years ago. So yeah, I know I have 3 RCT2 games. There's a GTA 5 stream on there, and the first Evil Genius stream is on there. So if you're curious and want to catch up, they're about 3 hours each, so don't expect you to watch all of it if you want to kind of skim through it and see what happened. But Bad Platypus, favorite conquering game? It's a bit tough. I've always been a big fan also of the Age of Empires series. I have all 3 of those as well, all on CD. I don't have anything digital. I don't think my Age of Empires 2 works anymore. I know 1 and 3 works fine, but probably Age of Empires is probably my favorites. I did play a little Hearts of Iron. Hearts of Iron seems like a great game, but it seems like there's a huge learning curve just to try to get started in that game. So if I definitively say probably Age of Empires, if I had to take one of them, probably number 3. Because I've played all of them through mostly, but I think I've done the most on Age of Empires 3. So conquering game, probably something like that. Evil Genius is probably up there too. I have not got to play the new Age of Empires yet. I've heard it's great, but I just haven't had a chance yet to, with not having a job currently, kind of stinks. But I think that would be kind of a fun game to have, just to play. They actually had a free weekend of Hearts of Iron 4 recently. That's where I got to play it there. But I started playing, and I had watched quite a few videos on it, just because I was curious about what it would be, because I had seen videos and seen people enjoy it a lot, and it's like there's a lot to it. But trying to dive into it, and it's like there's a tutorial on there, but a lot of times that just links you over to a Wikipedia page, and that's one thing I did note. And they actually sent me a review to say I'll help them out a little bit. That's the one thing I was kind of complaining about, is just the tutorial wasn't great. I was kind of explaining some things, and it was mostly just linking to a Wikipedia page. But I think if I actually got the game and sat down and learned about it a little bit better, I think it'd be quite a fun game to have. So we got right now. We're just kind of. I've got some people out here stealing. I have not heard of the Uber Trap. So there is some things I don't know about this game. I beat the game once. I was only about 300 notoriety, so a little bit different. I would love to try to get a little more notoriety to try to get as many of the acts of infamy done before I complete the game. I've completed the totem pole. That was pretty hard. That was a fun one to do. A little harder to do. I've never done the Uber trap. I've only been able to beat it once. I've only seen one of the endings. So we're going to try a little bit different ending this time as well. I've captured all 5 Uber loots. Like what else would be in this game that I haven't done yet? Not really sure. I don't have the Half-Life games. I've never. I've got to look at that Streamlabs because sometimes if you send a little bit longer messages, like over 2 or 3 lines, sometimes it's like still working on the bot there. I didn't want to have too many of those. I'll fix that here probably next stream. Still working on that. Sometimes if the message is a little long, sometimes it can be a little bit finicky on what it allows and what it doesn't. So sorry about that if you were typing something up there. Imagine a spin cycle with wind traps. That sounds fun. So I'll try to do it in this game if I can figure it out. I mean, what I can do is just kind of look at it like a guide or something like that. The Half-Life games, with gas traps, basically that with the gas traps to the strikers, they can escape and miss. That would be kind of interesting. Because really, I'll be honest with you, I usually don't play with traps. I usually have enough military minions that I can just take care of people. But I decided with when I was doing it on stream, I would actually do it a little bit more by the book, kind of how the game was supposed to be played with traps and all that. So that's how I kind of looked at it. So okay, so I'm gonna hide those people here. Let's start looking at getting some of these taken care of. 2 technicians. We'll need 2 guards. We'll send 4 valets out. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm gonna have just a team that goes around. Let's see what else. So there's a centrifuge there, and there's a laser here. I don't know what this laser needs. Well, if I can click on it, there we go. So it just needs 2 guards, 2 techs. So what I'll do is I'll send 3 techs and 3 guards. If we lose one, we can always send more techs out there. Gotcha. Yeah, it's like I'll look those up here. Maybe after the stream here, I'll take a look at them and I'll leave myself a note. So that's something kind of cool to see. I'd like to kind of showcase the game for people who had either never seen it before or people who, like, some of us here that have played it before, and we're just trying to, waiting for the new game to come out. I think I've kind of met both people so far, which is pretty neat. So. Ready, there we go. So far, I think we got a decent game going. Nothing too crazy has gone on. See if so we have our fake research thing. If anybody's never seen this, it literally is a balloon that we've inflated. Oh, really? See, I didn't know that. I see. When I usually would play a game, I would never use traps. So if that does increase notoriety, that's actually pretty neat too. Looks like it maybe has by a point or 2, which is really neat. I mean, I would do it the hard way, where you're just trying to, do acts of infamy over and over and over again until you get enough.
The search will enable you to.
There we go. So we're about to get the research started here. Combo traps, get it. Yeah, probably. We don't have too many right now. We have the poison gas trap and the wind machine. What I would do is probably wait until I get either the piranha or something like that. I've heard the best way you can do it is actually have a piranha trap with like a wind machine that they step on and push into the piranha trap. I think it'd be kind of cool, like a Dr. Evil type place. But don't have sharks with lasers on their head. So wait, say one thing about this game that is so waiting on minions to get out. It can be kind of a pain. It looks like they're about to leave now, so hopefully they'll be out in the world here very shortly. Let's let them run. Hopefully these guys will actually steal that so we can get that objective completed. Look, our guys are down here now. If I can click on there, go ahead and get that started there. We're still stealing over here, so we got a good amount going there. Good. So it looks like they just stole the research machine, so we just need to let them get off the island, which is usually pretty simple. Not too awful hard to do. And then we can start, we don't have to worry about our actual research machine being stolen from somebody else. How much is this room going to cost us? It's 30,000, 33,000 just to actually get that room built. We're going to hold off a little bit. I'm on a way to try to build up a little bit more money, so it'll be about another 2 or 3 minutes. Probably by the time this active infamy is done, we should have enough money to at least start the laboratory. I used to do that. I actually set up a little laboratory right here to have them steal. But what I would do, or what I've really realized you can do, is just put a laboratory out here, and then when they steal it, you can just delete it. Pretty simple there. That's the easiest way I found for them to get it. But it's just me. Got a message going on here. Make sure everything's okay. Looks like it. All right. Yeah, it seems like things are going really well. It kind of worries me because we're playing a little bit on. We're playing on a little bit. We're playing on normal at least. The first game I played on easy, so could get a lot more tough. But so far, it seems everything's working out just fine. Yay! We got the research installed. So we just gotta build our laboratory up now. So I'm just gonna wait another minute or two because I know it's gonna cost us quite a bit just to build them, just to build it, and then the research machines. The research machines are gonna cost quite a bit too. Security you can have an armed guard station. Yeah, I do know that. I usually don't do that very often. But the only time I ever have a guard assigned to a door is when I have my evil genius there. So like later on in the game, like on Island 2, I'll have a guard assigned just outside the inner sanctum, just so that I make sure the evil genius stays safe. Works most of the time. Let's see here, we got about 7 seconds on that one. We'll just kind of wait this one out. Then we'll be able to build the centrifuge for our laboratory. Okay. Every once in a while, when they active infamy complete, they do lag up just a little bit. Oh crap. Okay, so we only got one, which is fine. We'll send those 3 guards or 2 guards over there. So let's go ahead and send some scientists into the United States, and we'll start plotting over there. So we got that thing. So we only got the centrifuge, which is okay. So now we are actually on to kind of the big thing here. So the next one we're working on is, well, there's 2 objectives we're working on. So we're working on master plan. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. So essentially right now we're trying to get to the notoriety of insane, which is 200. And then we're actually trying to get the parts of the Doomsday plans. So if you look here, there's 3 circles, 3 triangles, and 3 diamonds we have to get. We start out with 1 of each. Now each one of these will actually unlock a different Doomsday plan that we can do. And right now, since we're getting a lot of heat over an island, they're giving us an objective so where we can go out and steal what they call the Uber Loots. The Uber Loots are very special loot that you can get out in the world that is worth quite a bit of money and that you help finance your new island. let's see here. There's something I wanted to do really quick. Oh, so if you look here, that's one of the abilities. You actually steal a mummy sarcophagus. One of my favorite ones, you steal the Ark of the Covenant. I would say that's hilarious. The one you actually steal the Eiffel Tower, which is pretty funny. You're actually going on Bastille Day, which is kind of like the French Independence Day, and you're stealing the Eiffel Tower while everybody's there. Essentially, what you do is you steal a helicopter, mount the shrink ray you used in the previous objective to shrink the guy, and you actually shrink the entire Eiffel Tower. So that one's the one I always usually get. Those are the big three. Another one you can get is you actually can steal a $1 million bill, and there's a suit of armor. Those are the 5 I remember. I think there's 6 out there. You have to steal 4 of them. So that's pretty cool. But if you notice here, we're actually getting bigger minions now. So this is that's a mercenary we can steal, and we can also steal a spin doctor. 2 those are pretty good. That's the next science and social minions. Let's see here. Let's catch up on here. We'll have some chat here. Getting awesome loot. I can imagine it'd be hilarious if you can actually get the little Despicable Me minions as your workers. I think that'd be hilarious, and I'm surprised they don't have a mod for that if I haven't seen it yet. So yeah, so that we take care of that. Let's see here. We can go ahead and start building our research laboratory. I think I want to hold off on stealing the Uber loots right this second, because they can be a bit hard to get sometimes. Yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't have like minions that you could run around, and I think that'd be hilarious. But I think the next game, and I could be wrong about this, but I think the next game should have like mod support a little bit better, maybe even integrated with Steam, that you could do stuff like that. Maybe even have different evil geniuses or different ways to end the game. I'm sure, there's some amazing mods out there that you could probably do that with this game, but probably a little bit different when you can actually kind of customize your evil genius. And I think that would be kind of an interesting one. So it looks like there might be, I can't remember, 3 or 4 evil geniuses in the new one. I did sign up for it. I might have to look because I'm pretty sure I signed up for it. I didn't see it though. I haven't got anything for it. But I could be wrong. I could have maybe just had, or might not see the message. But I'll go back probably maybe today and make sure I'm in the open beta or the closed beta, because I would love to see that. Get the hiding there. We'll hide over here as well. I really want to capture one of those mercenary people, because they're really good to steal money with. We'll send 3 guards over there as well, and then get that taken care of. All right. So they're just starting to build the research lab up. I don't know why the guy just dropped the... Alright, for some reason they just dropped like 3 or 4 pieces of dynamite just right there. Because I just told him to go out to the world. Never mind. That would be why. But I would love to be on the closed beta, or even when they open the beta up for public use, I'd love to stream it on here. I personally haven't built the game yet, boy. Yeah, I've seen a couple different things. I've heard a couple different things as well. I know, from just photos you can see there, it looks like there's about 4 evil geniuses. I think it'd be kind of neat if you could actually build your own, where they have other special goals and special henchmen. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. Maybe that would be like a DLC later on after they get the game released. So yeah, no, I think that'd be quite a fun thing to do, to be able to create your own. And maybe even your own henchman. That's just me thinking that. Let's see here. Hiding there. So we're trying to get the henchmen there, and then we can probably start doing the Uber loots. I'll send the 4 valets there. I always like getting the Eiffel Tower for some reason. Maybe, I don't know. It's always fun one to have. But also, when I used to work for an amusement park company here in the Americas, for a place called Cedar Fair. A couple of their parks, their main kind of central point is actually the Eiffel Tower, so it's kind of neat. Yeah, no, I think it will. I think there's enough people out there. Streaming this game now that eventually people will start realizing that this is, or what this game is, and how much fun it was, and get really yeah. So what it is back in the 70s there was a company called Turner Broadcasting. They had built a couple of amusement parks around America. One in Cincinnati, one in Virginia, and there was another one I think in Minnesota. And they decided that they were going to build as a center point, kind of like if you go to a Disney park, they always have a centerpiece. Disneyland is Sleeping Beauty's castle. Magic Kingdom is Cinderella's castle. Tokyo or Euro Disney, I'm not 100% sure what castle that is. But they have some sort of center point. Well, those three parks all had the Eiffel Tower as their center point. It's like a 1/3 scale. It's like a 1/3 scale model of the Eiffel Tower, but you can actually still go up in it. There's an elevator up to the top. I've been up there multiple times to do so. Yeah, it's very possible that I might be the only one right now streaming this, but I'm just doing this for fun. Just kind of introduce people to the game. It's a game that I've loved for years, and was really excited when they came out with the new one, or announced the new one. So, yeah, I think hopefully that other people will join in, because I've met quite a few new people today, which is awesome. We had a couple of new followers, at least 3 or 4 new ones just today. And hopefully other people will join in and enjoy this game as well, as much as I do. Oh, really? I did not know that. I wonder if that's the same with the Eiffel Towers in America then. So if you're watching later on YouTube, Enzimo just said if you deconstructed the Eiffel Tower, you can lay out its parts within its own base without stacking anything. The ones here in America are actually 1/3 of the scale, and that could be true. I'm not 100% sure, but that is really neat. Yeah, no, it's like engineering stuff like that is amazing. I did study engineering for 2.5 years in civil engineering, so I can understand stuff like that, and it always, when I hear stuff like that, it just amazes me, and I always love learning about stuff like that. So yeah, that is really cool. I don't know if ours could do that or not, but if it could, that'd be kind of amazing if they could take that kind of engineering and move it over to like a clone like that. So what you see behind, there's a lot of stuff behind me. A lot of crafting stuff. My parents' basement. So my mother does a lot of crafts back here. I've done a couple things like that. I've built a couple just like custom lamps out of wood. So yeah, we do quite a few different. The room I'm in right now is kind of a multi-purpose room. It's a basement as well as a craft room, laundry room, computer room, den. It's all kind of mixed into one. So there's quite a few things that get done around here. So we need our technicians over here. We only have 3 out in the world right now, but that's okay. Let's see here. Oh, very nice. Yeah, what I usually do is not too much crafting. I do a lot of I do some electrical work. It's kind of fun. I do it as a hobby. I do a lot of this stuff as a hobby while I'm looking for a job. Some stuff I've had for years, and I just have. I don't have quite the funds to do it right now, but I still have the time. Oh crap! There's a lot of people in this base now, and I have a lot of time now, and some of the stuff that I have stored up I can do, which is kind of neat. So that's kind of how I've been doing some certain stuff. But yeah, this room, it's got nice countertops all the way around, so there's a lot of workspace we can use down here. My computer's even on a countertop, so that I can really move my mouse and keyboard out and actually have a small workspace here, which I think is kind of neat. hopefully we can take care of this as well, because I was not paying attention too much. Hopefully we can take care of these guys, which we should be able to. These are just burglars, so they're not too well armed. They still have some good weapons, but mostly just pistols. And I don't see... We captured the mercenary. So the mercenary will be our next military unit, which is kind of nice. I want to summon another technician there. We'll have him in hiding, because for some reason in Europe they always build up a lot of heat there. I had an older desk. I think I had a little bit more room in my older desk. This is still not too bad. Once I got the monitors and everything in place, I actually have a decent amount of space. Especially if I'm building like a Lego set. I'm huge into Lego. I've loved Lego forever. Some of the smaller sets I can do on my desk, but some of the larger, like modular sets or some of the creator sets, I have to do. I have a counter back there I usually work on. So yeah, yeah, it is pretty neat. I wasn't too sold on the countertop. It's starting to grow on me a little bit. Yeah. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, if you want to catch a live stream, I stream every Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 4. We got quite a few people chatting right now about all kinds of different things. If you're just interested and want to ask me a question, feel free to drop by. If you even just have one question, stop by for 5 minutes, say hi, and ask your question. If that's all you do, and you have to leave, that's fine with me. But if you want to hang around a bit, I do appreciate you guys dropping in, saying hi. That's really why I want to start this. I just kind of want to have some fun, see what I can do, see what other people are doing, in their day, where they're watching from. I've got people very popular, apparently in America and Europe. Sweden was a big one. There's a guy on there that I'm pretty sure he said was from Sweden. He loved Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I talked to him quite a bit. Yeah, I'm actually kind of amazed that a lot of people from Europe watch my stream, which is cool. I know it's a little bit later on the day over there, and it makes kind of sense. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start stealing the Eiffel Tower. We're still stealing down here. We'll try to also steal the Ark of the Covenant too. That's another one of my favorite ones to steal. We got that going. We got our base somewhat cleared out. There's some more burglars coming. We can go take care of them with Eli real quick. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. That's something else I learned. If you didn't know, if you had played this game originally and didn't know, if you hold left control and then tag somebody, then I'll tag all the people in that group. So I can tag all 4 people at once. Didn't know that till about maybe a month ago when I really started playing this again. So that's kind of a neat thing. Just instead of having to click every one of them individually. Let's see here. How is this going? We don't have enough computers. Do we have the mercenary? I have yet to see the mercenary come through here. I don't know where he's at. Did he become conscious again and started roaming the island? I'm not really sure. We did capture the mercenary, didn't we? I swear we did. And if not, that's not good. Unless he escaped again, I'm not sure where he went. If we don't have the prompt to train more of them. Huh. I really don't know what's going on then. We'll have to go recapture him. That would stink, but we can do it. Well, so that one's taken care of. I don't think I've ever had... I got a feeling what probably happened is something like this. There we go. Probably only one of them, or someone was running around out there somewhere, killed the guy that was killing or had the mercenary, and the mercenary like woke back up and escaped. That's the only thing I could think of that would happen. Like those guys are running off. Those guys are still snooping around a bit. I might just have to go recapture them real quick, which is not too big of a deal, so. might need to start maybe investing in some more computers just so that we have a little more access when during acts of infamy. Not 100% sure yet, but we'll see. We need to probably get some more people out here stealing because we're only getting we're getting about 9,400 every minute, so that's not too awful bad. But that's with the team that's stealing everything too. So there's a lot of there's a briefcase here I've seen. So I think there's another one over here somewhere. So I think they're just kind of throwing out money somewhere. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I think they're trying to buy the research machine and then keep getting killed for it. So, you know, we'll see. Are they just sending like wave after wave of people after me? I understand that's their job, but after a while it gets kind of annoying. Just terminate all of them. Yay! It's gone, or it's ours. So we'll have those guys come back. I think if I send my scientists here, I think that's where the armor is for that one. And if I'm not mistaken, there was kind of a thing. If you noticed during the meeting that they had, that map. If you noticed the map that they had on the meeting table, on either side there was the island map. There was a map of the world. I'm pretty sure that's where all the Uber loots were. I could be wrong about that. No kidding. I think that is not that gas trap is not helping at all. And unfortunately, I don't really have anything else that. I really don't think anything else is really available at this moment until I start doing more and more research. We're up to 88 notoriety though, so that's pretty good so far. He's coming up the Eiffel Tower now. So if you guys ever wanted to see what it looks like, a 10-foot tall, not actual model, the actual Eiffel Tower and 10-foot tall, there it is. So that's one Uber loot we've stolen so far. That wouldn't be a bad idea. So, what Indimo's saying is what we could do is open it up kind of like this, and put a gas trap in here, and have a fan trap blow the agents here, or blow them back into here. What I might do though, because there's a door there, I could do something like this and have it partially hanging out in the hallway still. So let's go ahead and start that one. Let's go ahead and have him terminated. Have Eli do that. So what I'm planning on doing, I'll move this down here. So the plan is I'll put a door here. I'll put my sensors probably here. Maybe just these four. I don't know if I'll do it. I'll probably do it across. The idea is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wind machine here and here. They're going to blow the agents over into this corner here. Once that happens, this gas trap's going to fall on top of them and then hopefully kill them like that. That's the goal at least. If it's going to work, I'm not 100% sure yet. So something like this. They're 20. I mean, it's going to be $20,000 just to build those two traps. We can move this trap a little later on. Yeah, it would be nice if I just put guards on all of them. I don't have the guards quite yet. I'm playing this a little more risky. But that's okay. I got Eli too. Eli's actually a pretty decent henchman. Probably my favorite of the three. Maybe Jubei that comes with Maximilian's pretty good too. Left or the right of the hallway. That's right here. Oh. Have the horizontal doors don't. Yeah, that might work. I'm going to try this first to see if it works. If it doesn't, we can always change it later. That's no big deal. Let's see here. Is anything else? We need 8 guards. How many guards do I have over here? I have 7. So send one guard. We'll send these guys over here. And there we have our 8. We'll have Red Ivan come over here too. And we'll have them start stealing over here while we wait for that last guard to show up. And then we can send our science technicians over there as well. Yeah, it's like, if it works, it's like, yeah, everybody can play this game 100% differently and get the same result and to take over the world. You know, so it's like, I'll try this because my thinking is if the wind machine blows up and pins him in this corner and we can link these traps from, you know, say, I can't remember how exactly you link traps, you know, perfectly. But if you can link them, like, put the sensor here and or even here and here, have them walk forward. If they can blow it and get stuck in this corner here, it should be able to trap them in here no matter what. We're going to see if that works. If not, oh well. Okay, so I have to put them there and there. Go ahead. I don't think we can link. Okay, we can link them. So I want that one to trigger that one, that one, that one, and that one. Can I not trigger that one? Oh, it's probably not. Well, it's not built yet. Or heck, I can do it this way. Welcome to my lack of experience with traps. Alright, so that one links to there. If that can link to there, this one can link to there. So essentially what this is going to doing, if you have not seen this yet, what's going to happen is once an agent walks over here, they'll trigger this trap. Maybe these guys will do it. I don't know if they'll do it yet or not, because it looks like they're trying to escape. But the idea is they're going to set off the sensor here and walk forward. See if this actually happens. Oh, I think one of my minions got caught in it, and then gas trap will fall. And that should kill them. Whether that works out or not, we'll see. But since we're just setting it up, I don't think it'll work on those guys. So we'll just go ahead and have them executed like that. We'll go ahead and start doing that. So we'll get 2 of the Uber loots. We also need to get a scientist. So what will happen is anything a scientist or higher can they'll be the only ones that actually do research. If you notice here that the technicians are actually looking for things that you can actually do research on, they can do that. However, you have to have at least a scientist or higher to actually do research. So that's what's kind of up there. That's true. You know what? Why don't we do that? So we can tag them for a weakening tag. Hopefully they'll then fall into the trap. I don't know exactly. We'll see. Or if his friend moves up. Oh, come on. Come on. Trip the sensor. Which you can just automatically trip the sensor sometimes. That'd be kind of a neat, you know, maybe in the next game they actually trip this. Oh, hold on. Go. Yes. It worked. I didn't kill him though. Which is unfortunate. Lost somebody. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's active for me there. It did work a little bit. He did get pushed back, and I did get the nefarious tag, which is awesome. Hold on. There we go. So at least that works. We at least know now that it works. Hopefully we'll have our second Uber loot here soon. We'll need to start stealing a lot more money here shortly. Maybe we can try to get that mercenary back. We need to get 6 more workers out there. And what I'll do is I'll pull my technicians from over here. We're still working on this active infamy, but we'll pull the techs over from over there. We'll send the guards and run Ivan back out stealing. And then we'll try to get the mercenary again and see if we can maybe figure out what's going on. We got some soldiers out here now. Losing more and more guys, and that kind of worries me, but we should be able to get that one done. I'll just go ahead and send 3 technicians over there as well. Are we out of guards? Like, on the island at least. We're out of guards. That's not good. But then again, if I get a mercenary, the mercenary can train more guards as well. So, not terribly concerned about it, but we'll see. The freezer is a little bit full. We've had quite a bit of heat on us for the past couple of minutes. But hey, that's happens sometimes, you know. We'll have to. We might have to build a second freezer here shortly, because yeah, this isn't. I don't think everyone's gonna fit in there, so let's go ahead. Don't want to build it there. I'll probably build it down here just so that we have a little bit more room to expand other places. I know it's not the best to. Maybe a little bigger than that. Let's see here. What do we do here? Let's try to maybe do something like that. Misclicked again there. Let's make this room one wider so we can put 2 sets of racks in here. Alrighty, so there's that. So that'll be still an expensive room, so we'll have to maybe hold off on that just a little bit. Looks like we got 2 valets and 3 agents caught in that trap. So that's awesome. Yes. I mean, also looks like maybe we lost a tech in there, but you know, it seems like the trap's working though. So that's awesome. Especially for someone who doesn't usually use traps. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the freezer's always kind of a fun. We just stole just got the Ark of the Covenant. Eat your heart out, Indiana Jones. Go ahead and get our science and everybody over here. Try to get that mercenary back over to our island. Alright, so it looks like we could take care of that, which I think that trap's really helping us now. Or we scared him off, either way. Freezer cheaper in the hallway. I'll have to look that up here, maybe after the stream. Yeah, I would think there's probably a little bit better way to actually do those freezers, because especially if you get a lot of agents like I have right now on the island, like these guys, it can get pretty full pretty quick. So who knows? Let's see here. We'll get the mercenary, and then. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send 1 guard back just because he can start training more guards up, hopefully. At least that's the goal. If only they knew what was in that crate. Alright. Let me go out and take care of these guys real quick. Use a headshot on one of these guys. I forgot they were saboteurs, and they do explode pretty quick. So we have those guys put that out. Hopefully we don't have to lose too much more. So the traps aren't 100% perfect yet still, but they're working better than I thought they would. Lost a pressure sensor pad. Go ahead and build another standard door there. Alright, we got that active infamy going. I really need to start stealing more money from somewhere. What I might have to do is, when these guys are done, like that, I'll take all 4 of those, what's remaining of my military, and have them go steal over here. Pull these 4 guards back. And we'll have to just train for a little bit, just so that. Go ahead and link that one up to there. Just so that Subject is blocked. Oh. Someone needs, can we move the body, please? I don't care where we move it to. Can we just move the body, please? I don't know, we'll put it in the prisons area. All right, there's the mercenaries. So that's what we needed. That's gonna be our next advanced minion, which would be awesome. So we're back to stealing here. We're only getting $4,200, but that's better than nothing. Got some agents parachuting in. So these are like, so if you remember, if you were watching last time and didn't really know how like rankings worked, exceptional is probably, I think, the best you can get in a game. So we need to take care of these guys as quick as we can, because they will just sit here and murder all of our people as fast as they can, which sucks. So, and then there's 7 of them. So, oh my lord, there is just people everywhere. I think half the world's after me right now, which, you know, fair enough. But go ahead and take care of that guy as well. We don't quite have. Let's get headshot. Come on, headshot. Every once in a while, this game does not like. This game does not like me to actually headshot people or do special moves like that. Let's see here. But you know what? I'm gonna pull everybody out of here just so we have a few more soldiers to just to help defend. So what are the odds they're just going to shoot through that door? Odds are pretty high. Let's just go ahead and see if they'll open. Like, I can just get the door open for them. Oh, he rolled across it. What a butthead. And he's still stuck out there. My technician is just going to lazily walk out there and fix the door while they're shooting the doors. Alright, where's my people? Alright, they're about to come back. This is going to not end well very shortly because Red Ivan's back, but we should be able to take care of these people. Red Ivan's back, by the way. If you couldn't tell, this whole base on fire thing, that's like his calling card. That really didn't work out very well either. Alright, so it looks like maybe the Patriot guys are running. Have Eli come over here. Try to get rid of these guys. Unfortunately, it looks like we've lost most of our trap, though. Can we get headshot working now? There we go. I didn't kill him. There, I guess. I was like, usually it kills him pretty quick, but let's go ahead. Try to get that taken care of. Someone come pick up my henchmen, please. We have a lot of soldiers in the base. Thank you. See, this is not going well for me at all. It went from going really good to terrible in about 30 seconds. Do I have anybody left? You know what? I'm going to recruit a bunch of people. That's not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to do that. Oh crap! No, I might be in trouble here. Where's Eli at? Eli's still down. Yeah, no kidding. But problem is, my evil genius is actually in that room, and that's the problem. And no one's picking up my henchmen. I have 6 henchmen left. I might have. Yep, this might be it. Well, that really stinks. I don't know if I've ever had an evil genius killed in this game. This guy's almost dead, though. Alright, come on. Let's see if Red Ivan is back up. Hold on. We can save this one.
How do you block and load it?
Eli's back up. See if we can save it. Come on. And we lost the Ark of the Covenant. Dang it. Alright. So we're okay for now. Let's go ahead. Alright, so we really don't have... the smash we have in Page... Okay, fair enough. We have quite a bit of heat there. Alright, so... we survived. However, our evil genius is very hurt. Both henchmen are back up. Can somebody interrogate him? We can at least get the military minions back up and going. Oh man, that was I mean, there's a lot of people still out there too. Burglars, investigators, more saboteurs. All right, well. Cash is a little low. That's okay though. We can figure that out. So again, just try to get rid of as many guys as we can. Let's pull Red Ivan back out, even though this might be a bad mistake after half the base was on fire just moments ago. That is true. Well, I won't win a straight fight when Red Ivan's around because he'll just burn everything down. Yeah, I think what I might have to do is just try to weaken everybody as much as I can. But the problem is I am out of social minions. All my valets are dead. I have 2 technicians left. So hopefully we can start retraining somebody here soon. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Red Ivan because Red Ivan's a great, like someone to go out and steal stuff. You know, but sometimes he is just I don't know. Unfortunately, because we don't have any more valets, there's nobody to put out the fires, so. My base is going to burn for a little bit. We'll just, we're just going to stay down here. This looks a little nicer. If we could prioritize training, that'd be awesome. The Eli Barracuda is probably my favorite henchman, and that's the Afro dude is Eli. He's right. I was like, where's he at? He's right there. Things are still blowing up. Do I still have two technicians? I still do. I still have one mercenary. Essentially, right now, that mercenary is my saving grace because I'm going to get her down here. Just trying to get her out of the line of fire. You know what? Can we... I don't remember which one that is. I'll be honest with you. The hunter dude with the monkey. I think... dang it. Alright, Eli. Hopefully we can kill him. Good. I don't want to lose all the uber loots at once, but... you know. Dang it. I might have just lost another uber loot, which would ultimately suck. I haven't seen Jumanji yet. I've heard that's a good movie, but I just haven't seen it yet. You know what? I'll just let him go because I need to work on the base a little. I mean, this base is in, you know, tatters and torn, and my lord, how many people are going to send after me? Yep. So we're back down to where we were. We have 0 artifacts. Can't really afford anything. We're slowly getting a few minions back in, but I mean, we have 5 in total, and when we had, you know, quite a few more. I'm half tempted to just go back to an autosave from like you know, 5 or 10 minutes ago, just right before all this happened, and see if we can maybe stop it or try to listen. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's like we're running a little low on time on the stream. We've got about a half hour left, give or take. Man, that's tough. Maybe we can let them leave. Weaken them maybe a little bit. I'm surprised the mercenary is not training. Well, he's carrying more people off. So I'm surprised the mercenary is not. Why I have to kill these guys? I don't like my databanks. They're gonna blow them up. So.
Feel the heat, red heat. Crack open the whoop-ass.
Oh, nice. So the guy seems interesting. I'd have to maybe try and see if we can find him. Let's see if we can kill these guys there real quick. And then we can get rid of some agents. Not all of them, but at least some of them. I would say my gold's wide open, but when I have no gold, it's kind of hard to complain that they're stealing it, so... This is one of the reasons you can kind of get a little frustrated with this game, is that you know, you can be going so well, everything's going great with you, and then all of a sudden half your base is gone, and now you're trying to figure out what you got to do next. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I really wish I could prioritize training, because with just that one mercenary, we can still train guards with him. But he just has to go in and train people. The problem is, I don't see him. I think he's just doing the heavy lifting right now. It's a pre-order bonus, huh? Because I haven't seen him. So, chat's talking about another henchman that looks like an old, like, 1800s, like, British colonel. I had never seen him before, but if he was a pre-order thing, that would make more sense. Thanks for reminding me that I have no money. Alright, well, let's try to get the base back up and running at least. Let's just try to wait until we get some more workers in here. It might take a little bit because we're out of money. The technician should be able to at least try to get some of the base back functioning. for what little's left of the base. Let's have him run down. I know it's like I don't want to shoot anybody with him because if I do, I might. I think that'd be kind of fun. I might have to see. It sounds like my game's not been patched then, so I might have to try to download the patch for. I kind of regret getting Red Ivan now. I really do. Everything's on fire. Everything is blown up because of Red Ivan. Oh boy, I'll have to try to work on that patch just to see if we can maybe get him next game. It seems like right now maybe between streams I'm gonna have to try to rebuild the base just a little bit, so that between this stream and next stream we can at least have a base back that is somewhat operational, and we can go back after the Uber loots again. Please no, don't see the please don't see the termination tags, because you will blow up the rest of the base. What little of the base I have left. These guys, though, however. Please no, don't kill him. Please, please no. Oh boy, well. The mercenary's going down a little bit by a little bit. Please, please don't kill him, no. We've worked so hard for all this and now we're just losing everything. See if maybe clearing the tag won't get him to stop chasing him. There's just so many bodies out here. Come on, mercenary. Stop doing what you're doing. Alright, so we're getting a few people back in the base here. Oh, then he deserts? What the heck? Oh, come on, one of you wake up so you can capture him. If that's the reason I lose a mercenary, I will be very upset. I know my stream bot might scare a few people. He's like my real henchman in the chat. Come on. Another trick I learned, and maybe a bit cheaty, but you actually can double click on your henchman. Like this guard, these two guys are finally going out to capture him. If you just keep double clicking on him, he'll keep saluting you because technically he's still one of your minions, and so that'll allow your minions to catch up to him and try to capture him. I learned this. That was like one of the first tricks I learned. So now he's incapacitated. Somebody will take him to jail, and he won't leave now, which is right now like the best thing that could happen. More burglars, more saboteurs. Just look at the PC game. I have to download the patch. It seems like there's a lot of improvements in there that would help. I might even try to get the fast forward mod so that we can fast forward through some of this stuff and we don't have to worry about it. We're starting to get a couple more people in here. Mostly just workers again, but excuse me. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So they just started randomly attacking. All right, that sucks. But those guys are out in the open. That's one thing. Red Ivan's good out in the open, but who knows? The mercenary just died, didn't he? All right. Well, it sounds like we're starting from the beginning here now. Just back with the basic workers, and that's it. So, see, I need valets, I think, to get the mercenary back. So, we just need 6 workers. So we might be able to don't chase them. So here's our goal, or here's our until the end of the stream, we're going to try to get at least the guards and the valets back. Probably get the valets back first because they do, they take care of fires and will help when minions are incapacitated like this, and with our henchmen as well. So we'll try to get those back first. Let's not do the Middle East because that seems to be a hotbed of issues. Let's try to get the valet back real quick because that should be an easier one to get back. Although I was going to send Red Ivan, but he's laying down on the job a bit right now. So, bit of an issue, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and cancel these, and we'll get this door back up once we get the money. Come down here and get rid of this because there's a couple of things I prioritize over getting the research machine right this second. What we'll do is we'll get the 2 doors up here first, then we'll get a trap set back up, and then we'll work from there. Come to think out, where are those 2 science minions? I haven't seen them around. I don't know where they would be. Are they in the base? No, they're working down here in the pharmacy. That might have really saved their lives. But, let's have them take care of at least the repairs and stuff like that for now. Eli's back up, so he's doing okay. See where they're at. Sending my minions out for the next missions. Looks like I don't know if that's their helicopter or not. I don't know. But we'll try to get the valets back. That'll help with the bodies and getting our henchmen back up. So that should take care of most of it, but or at least help start taking care of our base. There we go. We can. Some of these smaller forces we can take care of with the henchmen or 2, so I'm okay with that. Let's have them just go. Hopefully they can make it by themselves. Can't even afford a standard door with what I have. You know what? Let's send. I've got too much heat there. I've got no heat over here, so let's get once Red Ivan gets back up, we'll send him over to America to have him start stealing. At this point, I really don't have too much of a choice. But that's what we got. I could send Eli out too, but I'd rather have somebody here until we get guards back that we can defend the base with. I think that's probably the closest I've come to actually losing a game of Evil Genius without actually losing the game at all. So that's a bit scary, but we'll take care of it. We got about a half hour left of the stream right now. So what we'll do, we'll try to get the big minions, or the 2 minions, or the guard and the valet back. We'll try to get the mercenary and maybe try to steal an Uber loot again before we wrap up the stream. If not, what I'll do is I'll try to rebuild the control room, the trap here, and maybe get the research library done, or the research lab done off stream. And so when we come back next Thursday, when we come back next Thursday, we can actually continue getting the Uber loots and try to get back up to that 200 notoriety. I think we actually lost notoriety because we were at 88 and now we're down to 84. But I'll be honest with you, I thought I lost the game too, because like I said, it sucks because I don't think your Evil Genius regenerates health at all, which sucks. Cool. So those guys got the maid. So I'm gonna pull them back. I've got the technicians already. Brett Ivan's gonna be out stealing. He steals like $1,100, which is decent, you know. Okay, so yeah, there's no one going there. We need guards. The guards comes from South America and up here. We also can get the scientists from there, so I might get the guard from South America. If we can get the guard from there, we can get the if I can get the guard from South America, I can get the scientist from Russia. Then we take care of there. Oh, great! I was like, yeah, I love people come in. Love to have them stop by and say hi. Just leaving follows. The follows have been great. I had 4 this. I've been doing this for about 3 weeks now. I had 4 total before this stream, and I got 3 just this stream already. So that's pretty neat. I do enjoy it. I do appreciate all the support. Been getting a lot of comments on YouTube as well. Just things that help. Thank you, Fizzy McCoy. Thank you for the follow there. I do appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by our evil headquarters. We're still playing Evil Genius. We got about another half hour left. But I do appreciate all the support there, guys. We're going for right about 2.5 hours now. Cool. I guess are you his brother? He said he was mentioning his brother was going to stop by because you guys love this game. So, yeah, appreciate you guys dropping by. I do this, at least play Evil Genius every Thursday. Evil Genius on Thursdays, kind of more classic games on Tuesdays. I still might expand out. Been thinking about doing a Friday stream as well. And I think it might be another Evil Genius stream, just because this game can take a little while to play. If we're only doing it one time a week for 3 hours, it could very well take us until the new game comes out, which I wouldn't mind because I would really be in the mood to play the new game. And if I could figure out who's actually, yeah, I'm saying, Fizzle, you just missed it. About 10 minutes ago, half the base was on fire. I had a couple soldiers killing the Evil Genius, and I had no henchmen left. Yeah. I know, it's been, I think 13 or 14 years since this game came out. It's I'm excited for it. That's why I've been playing this more and more. I actually finally beat the game about a week or so ago, so that was neat. Yeah, I'd say it's a crazy game. That's kind of how I remembered it. It was a crazy game that you could lose this game at any moment, but when you get it right, and you can win pretty nice. Even in that game, I was playing. This is a little bit harder difficulty than I was playing on originally. But I'll wait on that. I almost lost that game on the countdown to the rocket launching. If you ever, if you play this game at all, how you end the game is you launch a doomsday device on a rocket ship, and you have to defend your base for, I think it's 10 minutes. What happened is I was on, I think, 3 or 4 minutes, and they were breaking into the base to go stop that rocket. So it was kind of a big deal that I was trying to get them to stop, but I finally beat that game. There's a really funny animation at the end. So, yeah, we're starting to get the base back together. Things aren't on fire anymore. I know it takes a lot of patience to get there, and essentially I just blasted through the game just to try to get to the end, just to see what it would be like. Yeah, it's like I was kind of lucky. Growing up, I had my father was a computer scientist, Well, a computer science major, worked for a computer store, was a salesman. So I had quite a few. My PCs were pretty decent. But I was also a gamer growing up too, so and he still is. But I've built computers forever, so I've had some pretty decent computers for most of my life, not all of it, but that would be crazy to try to beat the game with 10 frames a second on the rocket launch. So, but it's neat, it's amazing how far these computers can come just by the time since this game originally launched. So yeah, it's thankfully my computer handled it, and even on the last when the rocket launched, even if you look at those even the last the end video, it looks just atrocious, but it works. So now I cannot say I've had a DOS computer. My first operating system I think was Windows 98. But in the course of studying at college, we had to take an operating systems class, and my professor had a copy of DOS that he let us use. I didn't know this. So the music in this game actually, I can't remember if it won a BAFTA award or it got nominated for a BAFTA award for this game. Like, it's actually been either critically acclaimed or something like that, where it's either gotten an award or came very close to it. And I didn't know that. Yeah, it's like, you can look it up on Wikipedia or something like that. If you go on Evil Genius Music, it's a very nice soundtrack. Even for 2000, I think it was 2006 it came out. It's things like that I think are just amazing. This game, you would never think that a great soundtrack would come from a game that's taking over the world. But I've always considered this like a James Bond, like Evil Genius kind of game. So it makes sense. Usually the James Bond movies usually have pretty good soundtracks with them. So yeah, in that sense it makes sense, but you just would never think. It's still really expensive to build that one. But you would never think about that for a game like this. It is neat. So we'll start rebuilding the control room a little bit. It's very expensive, but we'll see. Now, I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know how many or what other games you guys play, but there's a game called Prison Architect that you build your own prison essentially, and you have to, try to have as many prisoners you can without having any escape or anything like that. But they also had a prisoner mode where you actually played as the prisoner and you had to escape the jail yourself. I think something like that would be kind of cool in this game. Just kind of fun. What it would be essentially, you would actually play. You would have somebody build a base like this, and you have like a time limit, to where you are actually one of the super agents, and you have to try to stop the evil genius. I think that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I think 100's a little low. Maybe 200 probably wouldn't be bad. Just in the concept of balancing a game, probably 200 would probably be a little bit better. But I might between this stream and next, I will probably take a look at a couple mods for the game just to maybe boost that, and downloading the patch for the game, so we can have all the quality of life fixes and things like that. So I'm okay with that. So we're starting to get the base back together a little bit better. Yeah, I think the community patch might fix most of the issues that I have with this. Because if I was thinking, pretty much what happened was the game came out and it became popular, but the dev studio shut down, so they never really got any huge patches out of it. And so things, you know, they had to take over. The community took over and patched it stuff because the community became really big for the game. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's what happened. There's a couple games like that out there. There's a game called Hearthstone, where the developers developed the game and released it. The problem was, though, is that after that they really didn't want to work on it. They worked on something else, and I don't remember what it was. And the community came out with what they call the Ace expansion, and that completely, you know, transformed the game. So I have no doubt, or I have no doubts that the community has done something amazing with this game too, and I just don't know about it. So I'll check that out after the stream today, and I should have it completely updated by next stream. And if I don't have the base rebuilt to a point where we can actually go out and do Acts of Infamy again, I will do that between streams here, and so we can next stream we'll try to get all the Uberloops taken care of, and maybe try to get to insanity of to the 200 insanity. Wrong control. Let's do this.
Here comes your daddy.
And Fitz McCoy, thank you for the host. That's pretty cool. Let's see what kind of minis we got. So we almost got all of our technicians. Our valets are going up pretty quick. So the only ones we're missing right now is the guards. What do we need for the guards right now? 4 workers. The problem is with the workers, though, is that a lot of them are actually being trained right now, so I only have 3 really to spare. I might wait till those 3 valets until the valets are done training up. I think I'll wait then until those are trained up, then we can have a few more workers go out and try to get the guard again. No, it seems like this is kind of awesome. I'm starting to, you know, I'm starting to meet more people that have really enjoyed games like this, who maybe have kind of forgotten about the game or don't really know that there's an expansion coming out or a new game coming out. Meeting all those people is actually kind of neat. You know, even if his views are horrible, you know, even one viewer is cool for me, because, you know, I've streamed to 3 people before, and for 3 hours, and so every view is, you know, awesome for me. You know, I think the most I've ever had was 5, and this stream might surpass that. So I'll take a look at numbers later. I don't really look at them, or try not to look at them during the stream. It's a little tempting, but I try not to look at them during the stream. But yeah, every view counts, and I do appreciate it. So we're not even stealing. 2 years is, you know, you follow the people you like. You like Evil Genius, you'll come over here. You'll visit him as well. And if he's hosting me, I do appreciate it. Just try to get outreach to it as well. And I think YouTube's also helping. Seems like every day I get a new comment that says, "Hey, like the video, keep it up." Or, you know, especially on Bookers Tycoon, people have loved those on YouTube. And I've only done 1 video on this on YouTube, so this will be going up there probably tomorrow. Usually it takes a couple. I usually have to render it overnight, so it's not too awful bad. All right, let me get these guys out of here. That's yeah, I think that's kind of cool too. So yeah. How do you come? Right, it's like I haven't had anything bad yet. It could be wrong, but you know, it comes to the point where
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now.
Alexa's going off in the background there. I'm trying not to. So yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, but back on the YouTube thing, it's like people have been, you know, really liking it. You know, and just doing this for fun, actually seeing people, you know, coming out and say, "Hey, I really enjoy your stuff. Keep going." Even the chat here, I've got, you know, 5 or 6 people. You know, you guys is great. So yeah, I don't know. really, I don't understand when people just leave just some of the nastiest comments. Now, I understand if like you're like, hey, I don't know if that's the greatest way to do things. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. That's a little bit different to where somebody's just like, this is stupid, or go stop yourself and whatever. That I don't understand. But when someone actually leaves criticism, it's a little bit different. That actually is trying to make make the person a little better. Like, I don't mind if you guys say, hey, the audio sucks. Can you maybe fix that? Maybe a little bit nicer than that, but it happens. Funny enough, when I started, I had a job. I was a loan processor for a company. I only did that job for a year before the company closed down. It was hilarious because everyone I worked with there had no idea that this was a thing that people actually stream on YouTube or on Twitch or whatever. And they said they always wondered why people would do it. People always wondered why they did it. And like, it's just fun. I guess I didn't understand that, but they weren't too much older than I were. So I know I just get interesting. Since I'm doing it for fun, that's what we do here. So maybe one day if I get more constant views, I might do this kind of part time with a real job. I don't know yet, but I definitely want to check out the new game when it comes out. I think that'll do really good here and on YouTube as well. So. Yeah, that's kind of how that works. I don't know. The people I worked with there were amazing. They were all, a lot of them were older. A lot of them were either married or had kids and stuff like that as well. But they're all big into video games. All big into, Marvel and DC movies. That was a great place to work, and unfortunately it closed down. So yeah, that was fun. Let's see here. So we got the base going again. We got plenty of money. I'm gonna go send. I don't have enough workers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop training these guys right now, and try to let these build up just a little bit. We're gonna get the guard back before we end this stream, because I'm saying we are. Even if we might run a couple minutes long. So. My henchman strikes again. I'm gonna have to work on the bout too. So I got a list. I gotta download the patch for this game. I've gotta do a mod, and I've gotta cut back Streamlab just a little bit. Yeah, I think the bot's a little too restrictive just out of the box, so I'm gonna have to dial it back just a bit. Yeah, it doesn't like that. I don't know why. I'll turn it back a little bit, because I don't care what you guys say too much. But hey, I'll turn it back just a little bit so that it's a little less restrictive. We can actually say more than like 20 words without it yelling at you. Yeah. So 2 things on the list. Update this game. We'll get back to where we were, and then. Well, funny enough, if I've been looking to maybe get X-Plane or the new Microsoft plane. I actually have a brand new Thrustmaster joystick, full flight controls and everything. It's the joystick, throttle, and the foot pedals. I would do that in a heartbeat. I love like flight sims. I've never done too much with them. I have the Microsoft X-Plane or X edition on Steam. I can't get my joystick to work with that. I don't know if it's just too new or what. Yeah, I would do that. And I play Flight Sim. I actually, funny enough, I use my joystick to play MechWarrior a lot. That's a game that I enjoy playing. You're right, the new Flight Simulator looks amazing. I watch videos on it all the time, and I still wonder how they're going to do some of this stuff. And the streaming part, I think, is kind of interesting too. Yeah, I think it's just race set up no flight gear. I really didn't have flight gear. I think I bought it during Christmas or got it as a gift. I don't, one of those two. So it's like if you were looking for flight gear, look at Thrustmaster. I quite like those. For what I've used it for, it works really well. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, how the new flight sims work is that it's going to stream from, send some text down there too. It's going to stream from Google Earth into 3D map houses, and so you actually be able to see your own house, your own streets. And apparently, it's supposed to be able to detect airports. So if your local airport is not one they model in the game, they'll still have it in there. Like the one that's closest to my house, it's only like a mile away. But it's literally a runway and like 4 hangars, and that's about it. In theory, it should be in the game as well. It has been in the past couple of games, so I don't have any head tracking VR, unfortunately. I would love to have some gear like that. Right now, money's a little tight, so I do have some of the more advanced stuff, but I don't have a lot in the ways of VR. I really just got a graphics card maybe 7 or 8 months ago. Right before I lost the job, that could handle that sort of, that probably would work too. I didn't think about that. But yeah, it's like I just really got a graphics card maybe 7 months ago that is, that allows me to do VR, and I did make a couple updates since then just to keep that card going. So, yeah, I think VR would be kind of fun for simulators, especially for flight simulators. It might be a little, I still have to use the mouse and everything, but I wonder, because I know I've seen a lot of people do that, and then they can use the mouse still to turn everything on and off. That might be kind of fun to do on stream. Maybe if we can get either an open beta for a flight simulator, or maybe find a different one, maybe X-Plane. That might be kind of fun to do as well. So it might be kind of fun. Yeah, that's what I've been kind of balancing out, because from one computer I run the stream software, so my OBS. I have the Twitch chat up here so I can read a little bit, and then I have the game going. And I'm doing that all from one computer. I probably should make a streaming computer that just fits on top of my other one. And I have a backup PC I can use for it. That's no big deal. I have to figure out how that would work, but that's what I was kind of wondering, especially when I played Grand Theft Auto the first week of streaming. That was kind of concerned about, because it seemed like it was dropping frames a lot. It wasn't. The stream was lagging a little bit. We'll go ahead and get the guard back, hopefully, and then we'll wrap up the stream here shortly after we get the guard back, and we can start training again. Yeah, it's like I've got 3 or 4 computers that, the job that closed down, I was lucky enough that they actually sold. They allowed me to buy my computer that I worked on, and it's just a little desktop, it hangs on the back of the monitor, so I can probably use something like that. It's got enough processing power that it should be able to render the stream and push it out to the internet. But you're asking about 3D models. Honestly, I don't do too much. I'm just kind of learning as a hobby. But I did stuff like some basic stuff. I'm a huge person into amusement parks, so I would redo, like I was working on the Tomorrowland Transit Authority's People Movers train. I just started building one just to see what I could do with it. Just things like that. Nothing too crazy with it. I'm not 100% sure. There's a way you can do it where essentially you're running, it's almost like a server off the second computer that got the guard. Let's go ahead and get those people back at the base so that we have them. But essentially what it is you're taking the stream itself to that computer. Essentially you got... you stream out, essentially you send the stream out to that computer and then out to the router, out to the internet. I think there's usually just OBS can do that. You just gotta figure out how to get the display from one computer to the other one. And I got a couple people coming in now. That's awesome. But yeah, we're about to wrap up the stream here. We'll get the guard in, we'll get them start training again, and then we'll wrap it up there. But thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it's like, it was something I had done before. In college, this is one thing I don't understand about colleges, though. When I was in college, I had to take a fine arts class, and I was in civil engineering, so I never understood why. So I took up I did filmmaking, and part of that was doing not special effects, but computer effects. And so they taught us how to do basic animation on there. So that's where I kind of started learning. And so I kind of picked it from there, and then going through like YouTube videos and all that, I learned how to use Blender. And Blender is a pretty powerful program in and of itself. So if you watch the countdown screen at the beginning of the video, I did all that through Blender. So the Fryeroby logo, the F logo that I call it, just a disc that has the F in it for Fryeroby that spins. That was all done through Blender that I created. I did the actual mesh for that, and then animated it in Blender, recorded it, rendered it, and then I used that as the beginning video for my streams. So that's probably the biggest thing. Funny enough, in America here, where I'm from, they say we don't have an accent, which is hilarious. It's because apparently a lot of newscasters will come from my state. Just because we don't have an accent, we tend to pronounce things a little bit differently, but it's always clear and concise. I'm not perfect at that, especially if I'm talking and get kind of excited or start speaking really fast. But yeah, that's they've called me a name. If I want to throw something else at you, I'm also pretty much a giant. I'm actually, I'm sitting down right now, but I'm actually 6'7". So the camera would come up to about maybe my belly button. So it's I'm kind of an enigma. No one really has known my age until maybe more recently. So I think that's hilarious. But yeah, Blender. Love Blender. Taking care of that. That's the only, really kind of displaying. That's the only thing. The only thing I've really done with Blender is kind of that animation at the beginning of the stream. So that's still kind of cool. Yeah. Changing accents. It's not really a changing accent. I can a little bit, but it's not too. It's like a lot of newscasters, especially if you ever. I know you guys are more in Europe, but if you watch anything like ESPN or something like that, a lot of those guys are from where I'm from, just because. Drew Carey. If you're big into comedy or something like that, Whose Lines It Anyways? Drew Carey is also from where I'm from, so he doesn't really have an accent either. But yeah, it's kind of neat. So we've got the guard. So Baccarat, thanks for the follow there. I do appreciate it. I think we have the guard somewhere around here. I would hope he's around here somewhere. If not, we've lost another one, which. How today's gone, that's about normal. And so that's, but hey, if we lost him, I think might not be the worst thing. I mean, that still sucks if we did. That depot's empty. I don't see anybody running through here. Did we really lose another person we've captured? Well, that would really stink. I can do a few accents. I'm not very good with all of them, but yeah. Let's see here. Let's take care of the intruders really quick, because they're stealing our money, and from one thing we are lacking is money. So let's take care of that. You can. I'll try not to. I'm like. If I do it for fun. But yeah, this is kind of my normal speaking voice. When I was doing speeches in class or whatever, this is how I had to talk. Yeah, it was very positive. It's even kind of hard, even for me, to distinguish some accents, because people sometimes, like, there's an accent called the Southern accent, which is very popular, but then there's 10 different Southern accents if you really dive down into it. My grandmother has a very Southern accent, but it's a very Appalachian accent, whereas someone from Florida or Georgia will have a completely different accent. So I will just say it like this. I will just be my normal non-accent self, and hopefully that works. Minnesotan's pretty funny. One of my former bosses had a Minnesotan accent, or she did for a little bit. She could actually bring it out pretty quick if she was nervous or something like that. She was awesome though. I think she was hilarious. She was from Minnesota, like North Dakota, very similar to each other as well. But it is that time, so looks like our guard went missing again. So what I'll do is in between streams here is I'll get the guard back. I'll keep our minions training. I won't do too much else. I might try to steal some money and get the research bay going. Not 100% sure yet. So let's go ahead. We'll pause the game here. We'll save it. Stevie's playing B. We'll switch over to the main camera and just do a little sign off here, guys. Well, guys, thank you guys for coming out today. I do appreciate it. Got quite a few new followers, which is awesome. I think we're all just kind of excited for the new game. I loved hanging out with you guys today. It's been great. Just kind of information if you're watching this a little later, or if you're just curious about the schedule. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you from 1 to 4 for right now. So in those 2 days is when I usually am on. Tuesdays is usually some older game. We're switching to Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe for next week, and then Thursdays we will always play Evil Genius for right now. Hopefully the that's actually not. It's over here. It's actually just a seashell type ornament. But yeah, you can kind of see a little bit better here what the background is. So that Tuesdays we're always playing. Or Thursday we'll be playing Evil Genius. Maybe until a new game comes out. Guys, thank you for the stream. I'll be back on Tuesday. We'll be playing Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. It's also going to be St. Patrick's Day, so I have a couple new decorations I want to show off. We might do something special on stream as well for St. Patrick's Day. So guys, thanks for coming out. If you like this stream, please consider following. I really do appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a like or comment. I do appreciate them. I try to read as many of them as I can. Guys, have a great Thursday, and I'll see you guys back here on Tuesday then.